Hey everybody, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hustler, and this is our 5-color humans deck. So if you didn't know, Collins Mullen took down the Star City tournament with this deck just a few days ago if you're watching this on the Monday it comes out. And when I say took it down, he took it down. He did not lose from what I understand, but at the very least he won the tournament, won the top 8. And so our opponent's going to the natural discard here. I don't know what's up with that. Either way, I'm excited to share this deck. Unclaimed Territory really just stands out, makes this thing work. You can play a bunch of humans all in the same shell and just effortlessly play 5 colors. You have 12 lands in your deck that can provide all 5 colors at any time. And that's just incredible. So it goes a long way here. And then on top of that, you have a fetch land mana base to deal with some of the rest of it. I don't know if our opponent just misclicked through that or what. What's going on there? We drew this a little late, but that's all right. We will probably just lead off with this, I guess the Thalia Guardian of Thraben, probably best, especially since our opponent either accidentally F6 through their turn or is really next leveling us, not sure which. Probably pretty hard to next level by discarding a land. Oh, he's playing Slivers, all right. Well, I will not counter your Gale Rider Sliver, and your stuff will fly. I agree. Alright, perfect with your land here. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear we start off with the Champion of the Parish here. I don't know what we're going to be named with Meddling Mage. Maybe Necrotic Sliver? That's a strong one. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get... It doesn't really matter. I guess we get the Hallowed Fountain. We do have to shock ourselves, but that's alright. Alright, get the Thalia's Lieutenant out here. Alright, stack all these triggers. Yield all of them because they're awesome. Okay. And beat down. Opponent can't do much about this. Turn 3, we have 7 power in play. Not bad. Also, opponent has no colored mana, so there won't be any collected companies anytime soon, which is the other thing I might name with the second Meddling Mage. He's going to be hard-pressed to catch up on board here, though. I could also just play this Manus Rider and beat down. Or I can just play 2 Meddling Mages. That seems better. Alright, Meddling Mage number 1. Go ahead and name Collected Company preemptively with this. They're not near it. They're 2 lands away, plus actual colored mana. But I do think it's worth it to just... Especially since we're playing 2 of them here. Maybe Dismember as my other one to keep my stuff alive. I'm not hip on all the latest Slivers lists, although I have played the deck on stream. It's pretty good. Right, I think I'll probably name Dismember just because it seems the most likely thing to punish us here. Like, Necrotic Sliver takes 1,000,000 mana, so I don't think we need to worry about that. I like what Magic Online's done to sort here. It's a little better. Alright, yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, okay. So I don't think our opponent's beating this. That was a pretty good start. What do you say? Alright. Sideboard. Now this seems great. I think we have some nice stuff here. Fiend Hunter seems good. Is a Static Caster seems great. Reflector Mage seems pretty good as well. Alright, what don't we need? We probably cut a Thalia here. This is good, but it is a 3-drop and we're boarding in 3 drops already. We probably cut a couple of these Thalias. Well, it's good against... Alright, let's see here. I guess Kites up. I mean, we have a lot of cards. We probably cut some of the Meddling Mages, to be honest. They were good there, but those are sort of a hedge against combo or control decks. Whereas here, we can Kite Sell Freebooter, Collected Companies. We can just bounce his stuff. We can tax them with our Thalia, so on. I'm not sure what our last cut here is. Probably, it's got to be another 3-drop. Maybe a Manus Rider. Maybe we think we're not the beatdown here on the draw. That's really the question. If we're the beatdown, then we just play all the expensive stuff. I'm sorry, all the aggressive stuff into the 2-drops and so on. But I think we're not the beatdown. I think we want to tempo them with Reflector Mage and Fiend Hunter and so on, and just prevent Collected Company from getting cast. So I think we can cut a 3-drop here, and that's probably the worst. This is, of course, Legendary, so there's... even if we like the card in the matchup, there's a... When you're trying to trim 3s, there's a reason to do it. Because we have, keep in mind, we're playing Aether Vial, but we are only playing 20 land, so... we obviously drew pretty perfect in that first game. This one looks pretty sweet as well. Whew, this hand's going to be great. Yep, definitely going to lead on Hierarch here, I believe. Oh, wow. All right. Well, this hand's going to get large. All right, get a Temple Garden here. All right, run out the Hierarch. You know, weirdly, one of the things our deck is kind of weak to is Blood Moon. It is a 5-color deck after all, and we have some Mana Dorks and Ether Vial, but in the event you don't have those, this deck is real weak to Blood Moon. But it's such a hit or miss card, because when Blood Moon's bad against us, because we have a Hierarch or a Vial, it's really bad and does nothing. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. All right, let's see what the first Sliver is. Ooh, a Mana Weft. That is a pretty good one for him. It actually makes me want to change how I play slightly here. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to play the... Do I play the Hierarch or a Champion here? I kind of want to play Champion. I'm going to Meddling Mage Collected Company, so I can't play it on turn 3 against us. And then next turn we have 4 mana, which is enough to play out our hand. So maybe there's not a reason to prioritize the Hierarch here, and I can just prioritize the Champion instead. Alright, let's keep this Collected Company off the field. Alright, well, let's give this a shot, see how this works out for us. It's either going to be great or do nothing, but it's a very, very high upside if we get them. Alright, so we've got a Hierarch, a Champion, and a Chris Pakula staring down our Slivers opponent here, who I hope has a hand full of Collected Companies. That's the dream. Alright, here we go. We're going to see it's a Sliver spell. Opponent's going to have a lot of mana next turn as well. Well, you know, Sidney Sliver, fine. There are many worse things he could play against us there, in terms of what we don't want to see. Alright, great. Alright, we drew another land, so I think I can fetch a basic plains here and save a point of life. And we still get to play out our whole hand, so this worked out very well, actually. No more fetchable targets, worth noting. Okay, so I think we lead Champion, then Thalia's Lieutenant, then Hierarch. Because I want to get this thing bigger than having a 1-2 Hierarch. Opponent might have removal, but that's fine. Well, I guess I better play around it. Better play around it here. All right, we'll make it uncounterable. I don't know what we're playing around, but we're playing around it. Yeah, I think we decided I want to play Thalia's Lieutenant first, then the Hierarch. Our team's going to be large, as long as our opponent doesn't wrath our board. But I don't think that's what Slivers does, so I think we're going to be okay. I think I'll just swing with this. This is going to be an 8/8 Champion of the Parish here. Pretty sick. Not swinging in with keeping Chris on the defense here. If people don't know who I'm talking about, if that's possible, Chris Pakula won an Invitational back in the day, and the big benefit they gave to Invitational winners is they allowed them to design their own card. And we're getting Abrupt Decayed. Okay, that's fine. Chris Pakula designed Meddling Mage, and as you can see, this original art, it looks like him. They redid it in Alara Reborn, and it's a completely different looking art. It's a completely different character. It's no longer Pakula. It's very sad. Chris is great. He's made a return over the past year or so to Magic, a year and a half maybe, and he got back on the Pro Tour. He top 8 at GP Orlando, but did not make the Hall of Fame this year, which is a shame because there was a few years back where he missed it by, I believe it was literally 1 vote. And it's just very, very sad because Chris was a driving force early on in the game's history, who really spoke out against cheaters because cheating was rampant in Magic in the 90s. And what he did to bring that to the forefront and it was seen back then by a lot of players as sort of like a foul in basketball, where you did it, and if you got caught, you slap on the wrist, it happens. But he was the person who stood up and said, this is not okay. This is stealing. You are stealing from other players when you do this, and this needs to stop. And, you know, it made him really unpopular in the community at the time because, I mean, people didn't like, they had what was working for them, and, you know, that's what they did. But, you know, all of that said, it's just, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Hopefully he'll get in there one day. But you know, in the meantime, I'll do what I can do. Give him a shout out. Go watch the Enter the Battlefield documentary done by Sean Kornhauser and Nate Holt. It's really incredible. And Chris Bakula's story is really told in there and told very well. So I would check that out. In the meantime, I'm going to attack with this 7/7 Champion of the Parish. I considered swinging in with the Thalier's Lieutenant as well. Maybe next turn I will. We'll see. We have a nice board here, but we can't really Alpha Strike or anything. We really want to draw another Thalier's Lieutenant, basically always. But also our opponent taking 7 is a good sign. He can't recast his Sedge Sliver this turn because that card's definitely very good against us. Extremely powerful against us, actually, allowing all of his Slivers to regenerate. Although I suppose, yeah, and because of the mana left, they really can regenerate on us. This is only, okay, well, Lifelink's pretty good too. Yeah, we got a big draw step coming up here. Great news is there's only 20 lands in the deck. We fetched twice, so we've pulled 6 lands out. There's 14 lands left, and 2 of them cycle. So out of 47 cards, only 12 of them are sort of actively bad. I was about to say, this is probably the worst remaining draw in the deck, but it still works out just fine. All right, so my opponent can make a 3/3 Mutavault here. And that kind of makes me this board. I don't know that this board is going to get better for us. That's the problem here. Once Sedge Sliver lands, it's going to become a brick wall, and then eventually he's going to give his stuff flying. That said, swinging with this and trading it for a Mutavault, or you know what, we're doing it because next turn it's not going to trade with anything. But yeah, without Trample, we need to find a flyer. He also might try to gang up on this Champion of the Parish. The problem is once that Sedge Sliver comes back down, and his hand is Sedge Sliver and Collected Company. I'm just choosing to believe there's a Collected Company in there, and we got it with our Meddling Mage. I cannot verify that, but oh wow, looks like he is going to go for the team block here. This is fine. I get to take 2 of his things out. I just get to take away his whole board? That can't be good for me if that's the block he wants to make. I don't really know what's going on here, but we're gonna find out, I guess. This is a very odd block. Okay, this makes sense. We're getting something bad happening. It turns out his card was not Collected Company, it was Heroic Intervention. Okay, well, we got blown out, as they say. I don't know if we ever really were going to beat that, though. That's pretty good. I won't lie, that was pretty good. Okay, well, our opponent gained a bunch of life. We lost most of our board. Our good creatures, anyways. And now Sedge Sliver comes back down. So I think that we're going to be in a board stall here. I just don't think we're better in the board stall than he is. It's the issue. He has 1 card we don't know about. If this had been Collected Company, though. So maybe the Manus Rider is actually better than that Thalia. Although Thalia would have been pretty good on this board, too. But so here's the issue we have. Our opponent has all of his Slivers have lifelink. All of them can add 1 mana of any color, and all of them can regenerate for black. So that causes a lot of problems for our team. Mainly that attacking is not good for us. This would have been great last turn. We can make a really big team. I can attack for 6 right now with this Meddling Mage. The problem is, whatever we do is just going to get chump blocked and regenerated. And I actually just don't think we have any ways to prevent that or to get through that. We'd have to have more creatures and attack with everything, but our opponent has a lifelink and 22 life. I think we basically have to draw a flyer. And in the meantime, our opponent gets to kind of go off here. That's just not good. I mean, that one's only sort of relevant. This is where our deck having 0 removal comes back to hurt us a little bit. Alright, so every turn here is going to go by, and every turn is going to be worse for us. So, I think this game might be over. We need a Manus Rider or something, and we need it very quickly. But even if we have it, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Well, this team's getting quite large. Okay, well, this is the kind of thing we're looking for. It at least, you know, maybe helps us keep some sort of parity on board, so he's not killing us. You know, I'd say I'm almost tempted. I was almost tempted to hold him because basically the only way we win is with a flyer, and making. So maybe it's worth holding to make that flyer larger later. Since making ground guys big doesn't matter, but we also have to try to be able to block, or we're just dead. I think sort of the bottom line is we're just dead regardless here. But okay, well these draws are in theory so good, and yet really so bad. We've drawn all 4 Thalia's Lieutenants this game. I have really big creatures and I still can't attack. And like I said, I'm not sure what we're trying to draw here. Oh, our opponent gets to make slivers with Sliver Hive. The Sliver Hive value coming out here. Oh man, okay. We're dead. We're very dead. I'm about to scoop. He has so many better draws than we do. Alright, well, we'll name Gale Rider Sliver here. I'm going to give this a good old college try, at least for a few more minutes. I mean, it's possible we'll just draw humans every turn, and our opponent will draw lands or collected companies he can't play every turn. We're supposed to win. We have a 4/5 Noble Hierarch. Come on, game. We're going to die to the Sliver Hive value, though. I actually don't think we can win, because even if we draw a human every turn, we're just keeping pace with the Sliver Hive. And if our opponent ever actually draws meaningful creatures, and sure, he can't cast Gale Rider Sliver, and he can't cast Collected Company, and lands he draws aren't necessarily great, but... And Electromancer does nothing for us at this point either. I think we're just dead. This is the one downside our deck has, is it has no hard removal. And even this doesn't, you know, more Reflector Mages don't really help here either. We're just dead. I'm not going to do this. We have no outs to this board. Feels bad when you have that big of creatures and you just can't do anything. Is this good? Maybe. Is this good? Is any of this good? I think we do just want to fly over our opponent. I thought this card's good though. See, this would have been good in that board. It can flip and make wolves. I'm gonna cut a Thalia here. He has plenty of mana with all the mana slivers in his deck. Flyers seem to be our route to victory. Fiend Hunter is good too. I mean, we could have drawn Fiend Hunters there, but maybe that's a preemptive scoop. Maybe we have some technical number of outs, but we just have much worse draws than he does. And that Sliver Hive value means that he's growing his board every single turn. So it would have been very, very, very unlikely for us to win that. Even if we draw Fiend Hunter for the Sedge Sliver there. Maybe it's a little better. Maybe not. I don't know. Wasn't 0% to win, but I was a very low percentage to win. I think this is probably fine here. This is probably good. He's got green for sure. He's got black ones. He's got some white ones too, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to cut Staticaster, maybe? Staticaster's good in a lot of boards, but once he lands a single Lord, it becomes much worse. Alright, we'll give this a shot. We need high impact cards, and we need something like Crusader that can just punch through. Alright, well, it's sweet. Is this here to keep? Is this a keepable hand? It has double champion. If there's a land in our top 2 draws, it seems hard to lose. Of course, that's a 19 out of 53 chance, and that's not even 50%. So, I'm gonna Vulcan. And now we face the same decision, but worse. These cards are good as well. We have to keep this one, though. We get a scry. We get a scry that to the bottom, as it were. Alright, well, we'll see. I was leery. I was leery to mulligan. I'm leery to keep this hand as well, but I don't think we can go to 5. Well, that's right on time, but at least we get to play the game. I think you could maybe make an argument to keep that first hand because it has place for the first 2 turns. So even if it doesn't hit land on that first draw, it also has vials that can draw after that. So, you know, same thing. We had 2 cards there, and we mulled a 6, and we had 2 cards counting the scry to get there, and we hit vial, which is only sort of getting there. So we'll see. The problem is this matchup is about who can develop a better board. What is this black-white sliver? It's a sliver, okay. It's about who can develop a better board state that can overrun the other one, rather than really anything else. And you know, not many decks can develop better board states than slivers. All right, well, this is a good start here. I think we just start the freebooters because the plan is going to be to fly over our opponent here. Yeah, this might work. If we get to take a few cards from him, play double freebooter, and then Thalia's Lieutenant it up, and then Meddling Mage something in his hand as well, we have a lot of interaction while putting some beefy flyers into play. And by beefy flyers, I clearly mean 1/2s, but they will get larger. Yeah, this is pretty great for us, actually. Imagine how insane it would be if we hadn't missed a land drop. And that first hand also, it's worth noting, that first hand beat down really well. Beat down very, very well. But that's about it. Alright, so I get a non-creature, non-land card, huh? I would like to take the Fatal Push. Uh-huh. Okay. If I hit okay and this goes away, I'm going to be so mad because it's not letting me choose anything. Unfortunately, our opponent gets to play Sedge Sliver next turn before we can stop it, but we can Fatal Push and then Meddling Mage Heroic Intervention, and he won't have that much. It's better to let me choose a card, though. Okay, that's weird that it revealed it and then it didn't do it all as... It didn't do it all as one, but whatever. Alright, take the Fatal Push, pass the turn. Yeah, I don't think, like, Vendilion Click's the other card that does similar things, and I don't think it reveals the hand and then makes you click through the reveal to then choose one. It just goes right to it, but whatever. And see, it double revealed because of that. It's very odd. Alright, here comes a Sedge Sliver. It seems big. I guess what I didn't consider is us getting beat down. Oh, he wants to play defense. Interesting. Whoa, I need F3 apparently. Okay, so... Alright, so I think the plan here is to freeboot. And play Thalia's Lieutenant. Because we have to start beating down with flyers, I think. Because we know we're going to get something with this. And we can also see what Meddling Mage for what it's worth. Yeah, we just have to not die to the ground beatdown. We have to develop a large enough board first. Okay, so our opponent has nothing but mana now that we take this. Alright, so this is pretty good for us. So I actually think I'm just going to play the Thalia's Lieutenant here. We're going to need to make these Thalia's Lieutenants big enough to survive on the ground while we kill them in the air. Alright, we have a path to victory here. We'll probably name Gale Rider Sliver with his Meddling Mage next turn. Believe that is our best course of action. Alright, that's the land we knew we had. Oh, looks like he's drawing something off the top. Mana weft? Or mana I don't care about. Predatory? Well, that's pretty good. And the beatdown begins, and it is a pretty hefty beatdown. Imagine if he attacked last turn. Yeah, this is not great for us here. We just want to draw Thalia's Lieutenants, essentially. We just need to make our board large. Fiend Hunter is pretty good as well. Fiend Hunter is great, as it turns out. Okay, so we're going to Ether Vial in this Thalia's Lieutenant. Now I will deal some damage to myself. That seems worth it here for this Fiend Hunter. We can get rid of his Sedge Sliver. Alright, so we'll see how things go here. We're not out of the woods yet by any means. Alright, we'll get rid of the Sedge Sliver though. So we have a 2/2 Thalia's Lieutenant and a 4/4 Thalia's Lieutenant, and our opponent has 3/3s. Okay, well, I guess we attack. Yeah, the good news here is now that if our opponent draws a Lord, a Sliver Lord, we get to trade with it with the 4/4, which then will make the others weaker. And if he they can't, his can't regenerate. And we have the Meddling Mage next turn. I mean, there's nothing to. We'll name Gale Rider. Probably collect a company, I guess. He's making red for slower spells, so I don't know what that means. It means another Sedge Sliver. Gosh, that was the best possible draw in his deck. Oh no. Alright, well, good news is our opponent has to consider our crackback here. Because we can take 2 of them. We can chump block. Yeah, super regenerate. Sedge Sliver was so good there. Such a good draw. We're taking it, though. This is a tight game. This is tense. Let's see what we draw here. If we draw something good here, and we have a lot of good draws. That was a great draw. I'm so good at Magic sometimes. All right, well. Can I win? I have 5 attackers. He has 2 blockers. So if he goes block, block, then we get this through. And we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is not quite enough. Okay, well, in that case, let's just go ahead and... So Thalia's Lieutenant or Meddling Mage first. Is it better to have a 2/2 Thalia's Lieutenant or a 3/3 Meddling Mage? I think it's better to have a 3/3 Meddling Mage here. Although, it... Yeah, because the Thalia's Lieutenant's probably chump blocking anyways. Our deck is great when we draw nothing but Thalia's Lieutenant. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff we could name. And I believe our opponent has a land in hand, a Godless Shrine in hand. Yeah, so we just want to name Collected Company as always. That's the most dangerous card against us. Okay. This is great. These Thalia's Lieutenants are now big enough to hold the ground. Yeah, okay. We needed a big draw there, and we got exactly the card we wanted, because sometimes I'm just really good at Magic. That's how it works. But, yeah, so that allowed us, we have the flying beatdown, of course. But more importantly, it means we have I believe, a 6/6 and a 5/5 on the ground, or 4, whatever. The point is, we're going to have big enough stuff on the ground to block him profitably, especially when we just throw this Thalia's Lieutenant under the bus with one of them and then have a bigger creature than the other one. So he can't kill us, and he's the next turn to our flyers, and he can't cast Collected Company, which is one of the cards that could conceivably dig him out of it. So, all right. There you go. 5-color humans. That was a crazy match, actually. It was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of big boards and a lot of creature synergy. That was a match. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Mining Modern.